Hello, a little different angle today, but I am starting on my next project because I have been dying to make one of these for a while now. I don't remember what movie I saw it from, but years ago there was some celebrity in some film wearing what is called the patio dress, or wearing a patio dress, that I just love. I've heard it called the Southwestern patio dress. I've heard it called several other things. I'll post a couple pictures here so that you guys can kind of see what I'm looking at. But I just started measuring and kind of working and figuring out what I'm going to do. And I want to go ahead and show you kind of what I'm working with. So I'm doing something a little unconventional. I'm working with a Gertie Sews Jiffy Dresses pattern this time instead of a traditional paper pattern, and I am kind of obsessed. It allows you to trace your pattern without having to potentially worry about cutting the wrong one out, or, you know, let's say you let's say you trace it all and you cut it wrong, you can go back and retrace it, or you can see if maybe that piece needs a bit of finagling. It's very cool. Now, I'm not going to walk you guys through the whole pattern because Gertie does a very thorough job of doing it herself, and I got this at Barnes & Noble, I think, not that long ago. I'm kind of obsessed with Gertie. She's fabulous and adorable, but let me show you what I'm making. So that is the patio dress, and she has a very lovely little blurb about it. She's got what you would need for it, skills to learn, which have page numbers so you can actually go back through the book and figure out what you need to learn, and she goes step by step and lets you know how to do it, which is amazing, and it saves me time, because if you enjoy watching me struggle and make this harder for myself, you can go back and do it the right way. Now, the thing I love about patio dresses is they're very form-fitting yet kind of airy and flouncy and girly, and I'm really obsessed with them. I'm switching it up a smidge though, because it's me and I can't do anything the right way the first time. The alternative version is the short sleeve day dress, which it's the same thing, it just has a short sleeve, so the bodice is cut different. And it's in the same pattern. Hang on, let me close this real quick. Anyway, it's in the same pattern page as the patio dress. It just has a shorter sleeve, which I'm all for because, again, I live in Texas and no. But here's the one thing I'm already starting to struggle with a little bit. So I did cut all of my pattern pieces out. This is actually tissue paper that I just cut everything out of. There's footage somewhere I'll add somewhere of me doing it, but see where I traced all of the pieces and the little marks and stuff and how many I'm supposed to cut and things, which has been great. And this I can easily fold up and throw into a folder over that way eventually. But there are no skirt pattern pieces, which with a simplicity pattern or McCall's, there might be a skirt pattern piece for that reason, but Gertie just explains how to cut it yourself instead. So I've been trying to do the mental math of how it needs to be done and how many pieces I need. So this was my little, as I was going, I just quickly wrote down what I needed, how the skirt was supposed to work. I don't know if you can see that properly. I'll show you my other way of doing this here in a second. This is kind of confusing if you don't know how to do the math. So I am just explaining this. She does explain it, but I'm explaining it so that I understand it, and so that if you're seeing me drawing and working on things and how I got how much fabric I need for my skirt, I'm just going to explain it for you. So let's see. So I grabbed my handy dandy notebook and I did this. This looks like a lot of chaos, and I will explain, I promise. And I will take a picture and post it here for the duration of this so you can kind of look around and see as you're going. So I have 3 tiers for the skirt. First thing I determined was length. That's the easy part. So the length is the desired length that you want from your hip, your natural waistline, so like right above your hip, all the way down to however long you want it. I want mine around 27 to 30 inches. I don't necessarily want it at 30 inches, but for the sake of measuring, 27 to 30. So the way you're going to get the length, that's the easiest place to start, is measuring from your waist or top of your hip all the way down to wherever you want to stop. So for me, I wanted about 27 to 30 inches long, And that's the easy part. So then you just divide that by 3, which is kind of what I drew here for you to see. And that gives me 9 to 10 inches. Cool. Well, that's 9 to 10 inches wide for each panel, but that is a finished measurement. You have to add about 1.25 inches or so for your seam allowance. You see here in this photo, I want my panels to be 12 inches wide. Now here comes the scary part, which is measuring how long each panel needs to be. The easiest way to do it is you measure your waist, and you're going to multiply that times 2 so that you get that first tier. Great? Cool? With me so far? Wonderful. Then you're going to do it again for the next tier. So multiply, in my case, my waist currently is 33 inches, so multiply that times 2 is 66, and then double that again to 132, and then I'm going to double it again because I'm doing 3 tiers to, 264. So that's the total length of each tier. Now for the fun part. I realize I don't have enough fabric from the fabric I've already bought to make this dress. So I have 2 options. I can either work on a different project, or I can just go buy the fabric and continue on this piece, because I have a 3-day weekend coming up and I kind of want to be able to do this, and having 3 days to myself, more or less, to do this. I'm hoping to do this now. So I'm going to have to go to Joann and find more of the fabric I want to use and see if that's a direction I want to go, or I need to go to Joann and buy 6 or 7 yards of fabric to make this one dress. So we're going to see. But that's the crazy way I did the math. If you got confused, I'm so sorry. You can totally ignore me and just watch me again descend into the chaos that is my brain. If you found this helpful, please like below. I am going to figure out what I'm going to do, because I really want to do this the hard way. But if I don't have to, I won't bother explaining it. So I will figure out what I'm going to do and then reconvene. Good morning. It is day 2 of my patio dress project. I did go to Joann. I did get my fabric. I did not get what I already had, so I've already broken my favorite rule of using stuff out of my stash. But at this point, it can't be helped. I was originally going to use this fabric and then dye it purple so I could have another purple dress in my closet, but I couldn't find this exact fabric when I went to Joann. I looked and looked and looked, and granted, too little too late. It's done. Well, let me show you what I did get. So first thing I got were my trims, because with patio dresses they have like a big panel of trim here to make it cute and accessorized. So I got some kind of cream rickrack, and then I got these. So I got some lace, and these are little pom-pom trims, and then I got these really cute kind of cream daisies, and that's going to be on my trim for this. I got too much, but I'm okay with that. So this stuff is 100% cotton. It's actually a double layer cotton gauze fabric, and so that makes it very lightweight. It's not going to be see-through, and I'm kind of obsessed with the color after working on my 1940s top with the big stripes and everything else, and I found this and I almost lost it. I wanted to do purple originally, but yeah, that didn't work. They did have a purple there, but it wasn't the right shade, and so I might at some point in the future go back and see if I can find more of that. I don't know what I'm going to use that white fabric for, but I have it if I want it for something else. So we're going pink, and it doesn't help that I got a little nod from the universe this morning, which was the clip from, I can't remember what film, but it's the Think Pink little clip this morning, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be my day-to-day, is thinking pink. It is hot as heck outside. I can feel it from this window, so I need to crank on my AC. I need to drink my coffee, cut this dress out minimum. I need to at least have the main part cut out. I'm hoping I can at least get maybe the skirt done today, because the skirt is just a lot of straight stitching, and it will not take me super, super long, I don't think. And now that I'm looking at it, I realize I don't have pink thread for this. So we are gonna see how close we get with the thread I currently have, because I'm not going back to Joann today. It's a holiday, I'm not going out. So yeah, that's the goal. I'm gonna cut out everything and maybe get the skirt done. Okay, the main part of the bodice and all of the facing pieces, thank you Lord there's no lining, but facings are all cut out. So this part is done. I also found the rest of the trims I had pulled, so I might use some of that. We'll play with it later. I now have to go on to the scary part, which is my weird math for the skirt. Theoretically, this stuff is wider than I need it, and I need panels that are about 10 inches wide at finished, and then I need them all to be about, I think it was, with my math, it was either 33-inch panels or 66-inch panels. But my thought process was I would do the top tier as 33-inch for the front and 33 inches for the back, and in the second tier doing panels of 66 maybe. I need to measure how wide this is real quick. So without stretching it, it's about 44 inches wide. So in theory I could just cut panels straight across that are 10-inch increments and just do 2 and then do 3 and then 6 or however many I need to get that full ratio of the skirt. That way I also don't have a lot of waste where I'm not just cutting into the 46 and I can just use that. And I mean, the other thing is that this also, because of the fabric that it is, it's got a little stretch, but not much. So I might go ahead and just cut the panels at the 43. How many was it? It was like 20, 42, however many inches wide it was. Cut the panels that I need for it and just go from there. Let's see, so that would be, so if I do that finished number instead, I think I'm making this too difficult for myself, but it was basically, total amount needed was, let's see, at least 2, hang on, I have a diagram for this somewhere, I thought. I do, on the back. According to my diagram, it would be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So if I cut 14 10 to 12 inch pieces, then I can just go from there. So do maybe 1 piece, do 2 pieces for the top, do 4 pieces for the second tier, and then looks like 8 pieces for the very bottom. That will all be sewn together to be this very, very large skirt. That was a lot of skirt. Okay, let's cut these panels of the skirt. Good morning. Day 3. Everything was cut out late last night. I spent most of yesterday playing Genshin Impact because it's my rest day and I can do what I want. Yeah. Well, today is to sew it and get it all done. I have quite a bit left. I've got probably about 2 or 3 yards left, which is wonderful. So I can maybe make another dress, or I can make a shirt, jacket, blanket. I don't know, something, but I have it, so that's great. I found some thread that will work, so I don't have to go back to Joann's. Yes, because it is pouring outside. Now I'm so happy about it. I haven't really gone over the instructions for this. I think I'm going to quickly read through them and then get started. Part of me just wants to start with the skirt. That's where my intuition is leading me to go, because it's panels and panels and panels and then gathering and then stitching them all together. So my brain's like, okay, do the easy part first so that I can make sure that that's the right length, to make sure that it's done. I also need to see if they suggest putting any trim on it so that I can do that before I start gathering, because that middle tier is going to be gathered on the top. Yeah, they're all gathered on the top. So if I need to put any trim on, I need to do that before I do the top, I think. The top is going to be fairly simple. I hope, pray, and think. We will see. Yeah. So I'm gonna quickly read through the instructions, and then I think I'm gonna start on the skirt. All right, the skirt is mostly done. That was a beating. I felt like I was running a sewing marathon. I still need to gather the top so I can stitch it to the bodice. And now I'm gonna go ahead and sew the bodice. One funny thing, and then I'll explain what I'm doing next. When I worked at Joann, we got rid of a ton of colors of zippers and things like that we wound up marking down to, like, I think it was something ridiculous, like 25 cents or something like that, a zipper, which in the 50s that wasn't ridiculous. That might have been too expensive actually, but typically zippers now are like $2.49. So I got these for like 24 cents a piece, and I have a ton of them, and they were all like weird colors, including one that's the perfect shade for this dress. I was looking at where the zipper is gonna go, and it asks to put it in the back. You know me, I can't do somebody else's pattern 100% how they suggest doing it. So, in true me function and form, because I've already started backwards by doing the skirt first, and now I'm working on the top when it asks you to start with the top and then get to the skirt. Yeah, that didn't happen. So now I'm deviating more, and I'm gonna put the zipper on the side of the dress. And there's a reason for it though. With the way the skirt is sewn together, I matched most of the side seams together and the tiers, if that makes sense. So for each one panel, there's 2 tiers basically, except for the top. So like at the very, very bottom, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and above that is 1, 2, and above that is 1. So that's how the front looks. But I met all the seams down one side, so it feels more like a proper dress, if that makes sense. I didn't just randomly pin them all together and hope that they fit. And I went very painstakingly to make sure that it was 2 per panel. So I'm going to try to put the zipper in the side instead, because then it will also hide it. It'll make the back smoother. I don't have to fight doing this. I'll wait for my husband to have to help me, because he goes to work before I do usually. So I really need something that is more functional for me. And with this, I usually, stick my hip on a desk and I can just zzz, and then I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and start with the trim so that I can make sure it's exactly where it needs to be, mark where everything needs to be, know that I have enough, and if I need to change some things out, I do have plenty of extra trim to play with. So we're almost there. We're halfway there. We did the hard part. Now I get to do the fun part without dreading doing the hard part. right, on the mannequin, it looks a little scary. Mostly because, yeah, it's, let's just put it on and see what we've done. It's close, it's close, it's close. Side zipper, it's not bugging me per se, but it's bugging me. This waist is definitely dropped from, it's about an inch from where it needs to be, so I might just take that in real fast. And yeah, because that's, oh my gosh, this is also a lot of skirt, but you can see that's quite a lot of fabric. Do I take it in the middle? Do I take it in at the back? Because if I do that, if I bring this in, it kind of naturally pulls this up to my waist anyway, which isn't a bad thing. The back is a little baggy. I might increase the darts on all 4 sides by a bit and just pleat it into the skirt so that it'll hide. But this is not flattering yet. So let's quickly fix this. Cool. All right, that already feels better. Side zipper, moment of truth here. Wow, okay. So what I did was I went ahead and just took in from, let me see if I can get a little closer for you. I took in, you can see from the top of the dart here, all the way down. I went about 1/2 an inch above where the existing dart is, and I went about 1/2 an inch in. So I did that in the front, and I did it in the back, and it fits. Let me do a twirl real quick. The side zipper, not a bad idea. However, this is not an invisible zipper, so this particular closure, it's a little triangular ones. It's meant for more like, I think, pants and things like that. It's kind of irritating and annoying, but I mean, the more I'm wearing it, the more I'm like, eh. Final thoughts. It is darling. I wasn't sure about the color. I love the little work up here. I think I did it a bit too high, but even like the little bit of lace right in here is super dainty and cute. I might buy more of it so that I can do some layers in the skirt. I think this does need a belt of some kind, probably like a big chunky brown belt or something, because this is cute and it's definitely giving that 1950s vibe. However, it does feel a little weird that there's just cream up here and then nothing in the bottom. So I definitely need to add some to the layers. This is a lot of skirt. The short sleeve moment is kind of irritating. I don't necessarily love it. It could be the fabric I'm using. I didn't, as far as like the short sleeve moment kind of going on, it's very cute. I don't hate it. The collar is annoying. I don't like this facing thing. It's like it cuts here, and I've kind of got it stitched underneath the rickrack and stuff in here, but this is not, it's not doing it for me. I would kind of want it a little bit smaller, so it's more like a teeny tiny collar kind of situation. Like maybe I just need to do that and just stitch this together, you know, a little bit to get that more 50s vibe, because no, I just don't like it. I need to wear this outside for a little bit and see how it performs in hot weather, because it's currently 98, I think, outside. My car was reading 108, but that's because it's a black car. But it's warm today in Texas. Things I wish I had done differently, and things that I had done differently from Gertie's version. Other than the zipper, I put the zipper in the side instead of the back, and I definitely went a little off of I definitely went a little off pattern with the way I finished everything, and I definitely have some things I need to work on. But for a first attempt at this dress, it's amazing. And Gertie's instructions are very detailed. If you ever want to work on this pattern yourself, I would definitely recommend maybe doing less fabric, because it's hefty. It's a lot of fabric and a lot of skirt. And it's kind of tedious to have to do the layers and layers and layers of skirt that are all gathered and together. It's definitely a pattern that will take you longer than a couple hours. The top, I would recommend making sure it fits you first and then attaching it to the skirt. I did not do that because my brain was just like, no, get it done. No, get it done. So by the time I did get it done, you saw I had to take it off and put it back onto my machine and bring it in, which, because of the way that this is made, it actually was quite easy to tailor down to my size what I need. I like the pattern in retrospect. I would like to try it again with a different kind of fabric. I don't know what kind yet. This is the kind of fabric I wanted to make it out of anyway. It's very breathable. Again, it's double lined cotton, basically kind of a gauze. So it's very airy. I don't feel hot in this at all. It's super cute. I'm not sure about the color. I feel like I'm with my current hair color and everything. I feel like I'm a little bit of a Western Ariel, but I'm actually quite proud of this for my first attempt. It's not bad. So if you like this video, please give it a like, and that way I know if I need to make more content like this for you guys. If you have any comments, concerns, questions, praise for me, drop it in the comment box down below. I don't know if I'm going to do another Gertie dress this year. I'll probably wait till next year to do another because I have a plethora of other things to work on. But yeah, if you would like to be alerted when I put out my next video, please subscribe and click the bell so that you can be alerted. I'm trying to put these out every 2 weeks, but we will see. Circumstances being what they may, it may change to, one every 3 weeks. I don't know. We're going to see. So thank you. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whatever time you're currently dealing with. I hope it's wonderful, and I will maybe see you next time.